Hi, I decided to go over just a couple of very short things, very quick things. Um, this will not take the entire 15 minutes, but I wanted to make sure that I explained to you what legme is. Legme is called a typo. In this particular slide, that means that was supposed to be legume. So what this is saying is some examples of storage. So this word should be, sorry, legume, legume. So examples of storage proteins are egg whites, which albumin is the storage protein that forms egg white, and that provides nourishment to the embryo. And with legumes, since legumes are seeds, the storage proteins in legumes provide nourishment to the embryo of the plant. So egg whites provide nourishment to the embryo of the animal, and legume storage proteins provide nourishment for the embryo of the plant. So, because plants have embryos as well. And then I wanted to go to the very last because there are some questions on, the differences between DNA and RNA. So I wanted to make sure I pointed those out. DNA carries out genetic information, whereas RNA is involved in taking that genetic information and using it to form proteins. So it's involved in protein synthesis. DNA remains in the nucleus, whereas RNA leaves the nucleus and enters the cytoplasm of the cell. The structure of DNA is a double helix or twisted ladder, so it's got two strands, whereas RNA is single-stranded. DNA, except in viruses, which we will learn about in 112, that's why it has the word usually here, because viruses can have double-stranded RNA. But viruses are the only exception. All the any cells, any type of cells, DNA is double helix and RNA is single-stranded. The sugar in DNA is deoxyribose, which is a pentose sugar shaped like a pentagon, and RNA, the sugar in RNA is ribose. And the pyrimidines, the single ring structures in DNA, are called cytosine and thymine, whereas in RNA they are cytosine and uracil. So RNA contains uracil, whereas DNA contains thymine. The purines, which are the double ring structures, are adenine and guanine in both DNA and RNA. And then this is just an illustration of a little easy way to understand the central dogma of life. And the central dogma of life starts with DNA. DNA contains the code. Here you see your double-stranded DNA. DNA replicates every time cells divide because every cell has an exact copy of your entire DNA, all of your DNA, all of your genes. Every one of your cells has a copy of every one of your genes. So DNA must replicate every time your cells divide. And then for DNA to code for a protein, it has to transcribe. So transcription is the process where RNA is produced, and then RNA is used to code for the protein. So the central dogma is that DNA codes for RNA, RNA codes for protein. And that process where DNA codes for RNA is called transcription, and the process where RNA codes for protein is translation. And then again, DNA has to replicate every time a cell divides. So the things that DNA does is replication and protein synthesis. And I will end there.